He liked to see Amy happy. It always brings joy to his day sometimes, okay? So what do you want to do now? I don't know, she sighed. Here we go again, later tonight. After a while of playing board games, card games, computer games, video games, and so on, it was finally nighttime. Amy put on her pajamas and was relieved because she was almost about to choke by the tight-fitting clothes and was going to freeze to death. Sonic simply just placed on long maroon plaid cotton pants with no shirt. They were now watching some TV. Amy kept looking at Sonic's chest every commercial. He noticed her a few times but didn't say anything. They were watching an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And interrupted a couple of laughs, and sometimes they couldn't breathe. Amy was still a bit cold. She wanted to grab a blanket but thought up what? You can't spell! But thought up of a better choice instead. She quietly scooted closer over to Sonic and rested her head onto his shoulder. He jumped a little, but without hesitation, he wrapped one arm around her and stroked her arm. She smiled and sighed warmly. She loved being in Sonic's arms. They were so warm and strong. The episode of Whose Line was over, and they flipped through channels to see if there's anything good enough to watch. Finally, they stopped at Channel 10, which they saw an episode of The Cosby Show on. They watched The Cosby Show? Okay. That's nice. It's kind of weird, actually. That's weird. While Amy rested on his shoulder, she could somehow hear or feel his heartbeat. It was going at a steady beat and was rather soothing to Amy. Her eyelids were about to fall, but she kept trying to keep them open. Soon enough, she gave up and closed her eyes for a nap. Sonic saw this and smiled. He wrapped a blanket around her and gently laid her down on the couch. Then Sonic went upstairs to plan some things. 1 hour later, Amy's eyes finally opened after the 1 hour nap, and she stretched her body. She looked around and saw that Sonic wasn't around. Sonic, she yelled rather loudly. I'm here, Amy. Hold on for a second. Okay. She waited for a good 5 minutes. Then came down the blue hedgehog with a tiny smirk on his face. Hi, Sonic. Hey, Amy. Glad to see that you're awake. We're going to play a few more games, okay? Okay, alright, but let me warn you, the games might be a bit aggressive. What do you mean? You'll see. Follow me downstairs. Amy followed him downstairs. Then he opened the door to the basement, or should I say lair. Welcome to the room. He winked and pulled Amy inside. Boom, almost fainted at the sight of the room. The room was all of a sexy red color and black. There were poles, stripper poles, might I add. Sex toys were laying on each table, different kinds, vibrators, dildos, whips, sex machines, and there was even food addings, like whipped cream and chocolate syrup. Why would Sonic have a stripper pole in his basement? What the heck is wrong with Sonic? He's weird. Okay. Oh my, this is actually my sister's, but she abandoned it like 3 years ago and gave it to me for some reason. So what do you want to do down here? I clean it up every once in a while. Not saying that I actually use these toys. I just have them or put them up for display. Anyway, let's play a quick game. The blue hedgehog pulled her by the wrist to a black table with 2 chairs on opposite sides. They both sat down, and Sonic pulled out of what looked like tiny orange cards. He gave 4 to Amy and 4 to himself. Okay, now, what we're going to do is that we're going to read all of these cards, taking turns, and you have to make your partner do what the card says. It's simple. Only these cards. They each include some if you know what I mean. I tried not to think about it. He laughed. I'll go first. Gulped, she gulped. That means she's going to have to do what the card says or whatever. Alright. Tell me what your favorite thing is to do. Wait. Alright, tell me what your favorite thing is that I do to you. Then do it to me. She tried to recall on what Sonic did to her recently that she really liked. Oh my god. Oh. If you can't think of anything, then try to think of a question I asked you or what you asked me, then you do it. She suddenly remembered something. Okay, this was a question you asked me, a would you rather one, and you would answer that you would rather kiss me. So she made her way to the smiling Sonic and kissed him for the first time in her life. Sonic kissed back harder, placing his hand behind her neck. They French kissed for about 5 minutes and pulled away for air. Wow, Amy, breathe. What? Oh, sorry, I can't talk today. Wow, Amy briefly said. Sonic smiled. She went back to her seat and read her card. You have to lick or kiss every spot I touch on my body, she grinned. Oh my god. Oh dear. He made his way to Amy and she made him lick her stomach, lips, eyelids, hands, arms, fingers, and legs. He finished licking her inner thighs and then she touched her neck and licked on it. He also sucked on it like a lollipop and she moaned. He let out a hot breath on the waist spot where he kissed it, giving a tickle throughout her body. He finally sat down and read his next card. Truth or dare? Dare. He grinned a horny way. Put on some music and give me a sexy striptease. Striptease? What does that mean? I don't understand. What, she yelled with a little laugh. You heard me, she groaned. Then she put on some music and Hit Me Baby was on. Oh my gosh. She started to slowly but sexually take off her pajama pants while Sonic laid back on his chair, enjoying this. He raised his eyebrows when he saw her had on a lacy black thong. Then she started to lift her top slowly, her mounds coming into view. As much as he wanted to grab them and have fun with them, he had to just sit back and enjoy the view. She bent over so that her breasts were hanging and jiggling about, making Sonic horny every second. What the heck? This is freaking weird. Oh my gosh. She started to do a little sexy dance before she had take off her thong. She headed her way to the nearest pole and did a dance with it. She rubbed her body against it, twirled around it, and jumped on it, climbing up to it and keeping her legs around it. She let go of it with her legs, flexibly grabbed on the pole, and she did it like a back flip, only her legs were still on. Her moans were in perfect view for Sonic, who wanted the two erotic moans. She winked at him and went back on the floor, taking off her thong. Finally, she made her way to Sonic. Oh my gosh. Sitting on his lap, wrapping her arms around him and giving him a nice sexy kiss. After the kiss, she placed on a see-through red robe and sat down. Wow, Amy giggled. She read her next card. Oh my gosh. Let's play blind hide and seek. I'll hide a dab of honey on my body and you have to find it with your tongue. Oh my gosh, what is happening? How old are they? Oh wait, Sonic is 19 and Amy's 16. So like this makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I guess it does. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. She smiled. They both made their way to the bed with Amy carrying the bottle of honey and blindfolded Sonic. She dabbed the honey on her secret hiding place and told Sonic he could go. He first licked both of her ears, no honey, he licked her neck, Moan's lips, but no honey yet. Then he moved down to her legs, the smell of sweet honey filled his nose. He licked her legs, making his way up to her inner thigh. Finally found it, licking it with all his might. She moaned as he looked dangerously close to her private area. He gave it one last look before pulling away and taking off the blindfold. Honey tastes great on you. He winked as she smiled. Sonic had brought the cards on the bed and read his card. He smiled. Oh my gosh. This is already getting frick. Oh, this is so weird. Be my sex slave for the next 5 minutes. What the world? Oh God. She knew that was coming next. He twisted her body so she laid on her stomach and slapped her bum. Hey! He threw himself on top of Amy and whispered, "Be quiet, slave." He quickly got the blindfold and wrapped it around her mouth. Rather tightly. He brought her back up and made her sit on his lap. He took the robe off, kissing her shoulders and traveling his hands to her breast, tweaking her nipples as he kissed hard on her neck. She whimpered and breathed quickly. He slowly made his way down south, and his right hand stroked the region, making Amy twitch. He whispered to her ear, "I'm gonna take off the wrap now, but if you behave immaturely, it's gonna be more than 5 minutes. Got it?" She nodded quickly, and she took the wrap off, her mouth free for moaning. He got on his knees and quickly rubbed her butt in. Emerging a few gasps from the pink hedgehog, Sonic made Amy lay on her stomach again, only her butt was sticking up. She breathed deeply. "Only 3 more minutes." She gasped when she felt something going inside her bum hole. She screamed, "Sonic, no!" "Relax, slave. I'm only going to have to do anal sex for 3 minutes. He started thrusting in and out, emerging screams from Amy. If you want, you can masturbate while I'm doing this." But, oh God. She couldn't finish her sentence, so she decided to do it anyway. She moaned when she stroked her pleasure button. They only had 30 seconds before they stopped. Sonic moved as fast as he can inside her tight hole. She rubbed her button really fast, her body screaming for more pleasure. He slapped her bum once more, before pulling away, letting the sweaty Amy collapse on the bed. She was panting. "Oh, Sonic," he had a horny smirk on his face. "I'll read the next card for you." He read it and said, "Head down south and give me some oral loving now." "What the world?" Oh, Amy moaned. She moved in front of Sonic's wet region, raising her eyebrows on the side of how big it was. She shook her thought away and moved closer to it. "Wait. Do you want to get the whipped cream?" She grinned and nodded, and he got the whipped cream and gave it to Amy. And then he readied for his true fantasy. She shook the can then sprayed the white cream onto his member. She tossed it on the other side of the bed and then put his region into her mouth, swirling her tongue around it and sucking on it. Sonic grunted, moaned a little, watching Amy in action. What the heck? She then moved her head up and down, the manhood rubbing against her lips and inside cheeks. His crotch was pulsating and coming closer to orgasm. Oh my gosh, I can't read. After a few sucks from Amy, he finally came and didn't want to taste it, so she quickly pulled away. "Oh God, how many more is there?" she desperately asked. Two more, my turn now. The rule. You can't move